Oh my God, you have taken the babies! The babies! Give us back our babies!
Yes, we have the babies. And no, we will not be giving back the babies. We are going to eat the babies.
My dear, what are we going to do? Let's call in the Rafflecopter! It's the Rafflecopter! Eureka! Let's do it! Hop aboard, kids! It's time to go! Oh, joyous day! The babies have returned! How can we ever thank you, Rafflecopter?
Now you're a man! A man, man, man! Now you're a man! A mounty, mounty, mount, a man, man, man! You are now a man!
Okay, that was bullshit. Howdy peeps, how's it going? Hope all of you are doing okay. I've been doing pretty well myself. As some of you may have already noticed, I did indeed get a really cool Christmas gift this year from Santa. This is indeed the Rafflecopter. I'd actually had been long since meaning to get one of these. It sort of was one of those things that I had at the back of my mind, but Santa obviously knew my tastes pretty good, and so he got me this really cool little guy. It's actually a pretty tough little helicopter. I've crashed it about 50 or maybe even 100 times, and you're pretty much going to crash it anyways because you obviously have to practice with it a little bit. So it's actually kind of nice to have a helicopter that doesn't blow up when you crash it for the first time. It's pretty neat because the rotors on it aren't like perfectly straight. The rotors will actually bend a little bit, and it's actually kind of a nice feature because if it hits anything, it won't hit as hard. It will just instead bend when it hits an object. And of course, if it hits you, which so far it hasn't hit me yet, it will not hit nearly as hard. The only thing that actually causes it to stretch out like this is purely centrifugal force caused by the rotor spinning so quickly. On a side note, I actually can use my iPhone with the tripod, despite the fact that I can't actually mount the iPhone to the tripod. It's simply a matter of balancing it or putting the camera down on the flat surface of the tripod. Like the tripod has like a flat top, so if you take a look here, it has a bit of a flat top on it. So over here, yes, it's very flat. So I'm actually able to put. I'm actually able to put it like right on top of it. And as long as I don't actually kick the tripod, the camera will stay on the tripod. So there you go. So it is indeed 2011. A whole decade has since then gone by. And overall, I'd have to say that 2010 was a pretty memorable year. I mean, obviously it was pretty memorable because it's the year that my mom passed away. But you know what? There was also a lot of other rather interesting things that happened in 2010 too, and I mentioned them in the last video. And like I said, you've seen a lot of it. I decided that the best name that I'm going to give, like the name I'm going to give 2010, is the year of goodbyes. As I mentioned before, I give each year a little bit of a name to signify what was the most significant thing of that year. And since Mom passed away in 2010, it's been given the name the year of goodbyes, because it's the year that I said goodbye to Mom. And I actually have a little bit of a picture that I created through Facebook that I can actually put on display. That was actually a sort of a brief list of my Facebook status updates of the year. Some of them were actually randomly picked up, but there were a few that I threw in specifically to be seen, particularly the status updates regarding my mom. I'm just going to give this new video editor a spin, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of blend my dialogue over top of some extra video footage that I have. I mean, like I may have mentioned before, you may as well make good use of the HD by showing some cool stuff while I might as well show some cool stuff while I'm talking. So the biggest changes of 2010. Well, I haven't really. I guess apart from Mom, I'd have to say some of the bigger changes was the fact that I've started dancing at this one particular place in Vancouver. It's a place called the Alpine Club, and they do mostly salsa dancing and bachata, merengue, and they do that like every Wednesday. And I haven't been there consistently every Wednesday because it costs a little bit of money, a little bit of money to get in. It's like about $12 to get in, and so I've been trying to do that once a week, but not really once a week. Another thing that's changed in 2010 was the new friendship that I made that year. I actually made a new friendship in June. I met this lady at my bowling meetup, and she told me that she was into salsa, and I was like, well, that's she told me she was into salsa, and so we became immediate friends. As a result of that, she and I go out for salsa, and of course she's introduced me to at least a couple people that she knows, although we only really hang out with one of those people that I've met so far. So my social life, I guess you could say, has improved quite a bit as a result of this one meeting at the bowling alley, and so we've been friends pretty much the entire time. As a matter of fact, we've been getting together a couple times, or actually twice this month, because my friend is moving from Coquitlam no, she's not moving from Coquitlam. She's moving from Langley to Coquitlam, and so we've been in her new place in Coquitlam, ripping up carpets and removing shelves and ripping up like the kitchen vinyl or linol or something. I forgot what it's called. Anyways, the kitchen floor, we had to rip it up. So we've just been tearing things apart because she's getting a whole bunch of new stuff into the place. She wants everything to look like brand new. So things to look forward to in 2011, I'm not really sure. Sort of one of the preliminary plans I have is to go to the Calgary Stampede. I've actually accumulated enough air miles that I can actually fly down there purely on air miles. But apart from that, I'm not completely sure. Although, oh yeah, actually we will be going down to Pouce Coupé, which is my mom and dad's hometown. No, my mom's hometown. And we'll be burying part of mom's ashes down there. So, as I said in the previous video, we were going to bury, you know, like I said, we were going to put part of her ashes here and part of her ashes in her hometown, as I mentioned in the previous video, and I will more than likely tag along with Dad for that. So, and as far as anything else is concerned, well, I just hope to continue dancing, hope to maintain the friendship that I have, and just hope for a lot of really fun things to happen this year. The interesting thing about going into New Year's, you never know what you're going to get. It's like, you know, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get when you go into New Year, and oftentimes you are met with quite a number of surprises, as I was most certainly met with quite a number of surprises in 2010. So that is it for right now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I guess we'll wait and see what happens this year. If I have anything cool to show you guys, I'll be sure to show it. And I mean, I do have my phone with me all the time, so it's possible I may record something really cool. And if I do, I'll show it to you guys. In the meantime, have yourselves a good time, good week, and I'll chat with you guys later. Bye.
B is for brain, cause I've got brain damaged. I'm deranged, insane, got cerebrum like a cabbage. H is for honesty, I'm not gonna hide it. The doc gave me some Prozac cause my life is undecided. R is for relationships, and mine are non-existent, cause my friends and my women, I like to keep them distant. S is for solitude, I live in isolation, building beats, cooking treats, making waves like radiation. My sound travels through walls, beats drop like waterfalls. Stand tall, never fall, razor blades and shopping malls. Suicide, DJ's lie, cut like vinyl, super fly, time to die, close my eyes. All I want is for my sound to multiply, to multiply, my sound to multiply. D is for death, because death is certain. Even free houses sometimes have to close the curtain. G is for glory, cause my fate will be gory if I do a Kurt Cobain to leave behind my story. N is for notorious, from England to Mauritius. Biggie Smalls, #1, it's a shame he's now fictitious. Z is for zoo, it's where I belong, cause my life is like a prison with the music industry looking on. My sound travels through walls, beats drop like waterfalls. Stand tall, never fall, razor blades and shopping malls. Suicide, DJ's lie, cut like vinyl, super fly, time to die, close my eyes, all I want is